I know I'll take this time to tell you the story of sweet potato. So, once upon a time in March, in a hostel, there was a thru-hiker. Her name was Tara, and she found out that any food that didn't have a label on it in the refrigerator was up for grabs. Past hikers would bring food in and just not finish it before they got back out on trail. She found this giant sweet potato. Giant. And she loves sweet potatoes, so she put it in with her stuff and was wondering what she was going to do with it, but decided later in the day to put it in the microwave. And it was almost bedtime, so she thought if she put it in the microwave and put it in her coffee mug, her backpacker mug, it might stay warm. And then she could pop it out on trail in the middle of the day, slather it with peanut butter, because she likes that, and have a little treat. And it was a big sweet potato, but it fit in her mug. And so she put it in the mug and then in her bear can, and then tightened her bear can, even though she was in a hostel in a bunk room, and went to sleep. Now, it was her first time in a hostel in a bunk room, and there were lots of snores, so she didn't sleep well. And there were lots of people, it was full. And so about hiker midnight, which for those of you who don't know is 9 p.m., she starts to get hungry and starts thinking about the sweet potato in her backpacker mug. And she wonders, can I get that without waking anyone up and just take a little, of this giant sweet potato? And so, quiet as she can be, she opens her bear can, which is rattly often, and sets the lid aside and grabs her backpacker mug and pops it open. And the steam comes out and the sweet potato's still warm. And she kind of pulls it out and sits in her bunk. Doesn't sit, she's laying down. Imagine this, laying down and eating the sweet potato. Finishes the entire thing. House the sweet potato, hiker midnight, in a bunk room, as quiet as can be, and then went to sleep. And then, the next day, she told her Georgia trail family about it. And they laughed and laughed and laughed about Tara just housing this giant sweet potato. And a few days later, Strider said, I think I have a trail name for you. Sweet potato. Now, I have to kind of go back in time, because before I hiked the trail, I shared this concept of trail names with my son, Devin. And, we went through a couple of trail names. He's like, that's kind of lame, Mom. And that one's really cool. He's like, what if you get a lame name? And I said, all right. So I will give you last veto rights. If you don't like the name and it's lame, then you can say no. And then that gives me a reason to say to my fellow hikers, no, I'm sorry, my son says no. And so I texted him, sweet potato okay? I didn't hear from him. And I texted him. And I didn't hear from him. Finally, I got in touch with him. And he said, I guess it's okay, Mom. Sweet potato it is.